Hey, what is up, everybody? Thank you very much for joining us. We are MTG Lexicon and Commander Crunch. As per usual, we're gonna go left to right, I guess, and introduce ourselves and get started with the show. Don't do that. Don't do that. Have a fucking go. Yeah. Okay. Let's
Just a year.
let's try and have you do that again, Jeff.
I can't hear Sam or
I
Jeff.
just try and do it again.
Okay,
I
hey,
can, I can hear you both. It's fine. I can see Joel in chat. How you doing, Joel?
the audience cannot. So yeah, like I said before, as Jeff on MTG Lexicon, I haven't been there in a while, but because of the pandemic, and I just got my first vaccine shot. Excuse me, and get the second one on the 31st. So you should be seeing me there pretty soon. You can find us here on this channel. Ooh.
Yay!
The face and the thing.
My name's Brandon, aka the producer, host at MTG Lexicon. I don't know. I'm known for dirty stuff and things. I really don't know how to do the intros on these because I'm spending too much time producing. Yes,
For
this.
yes, I love that card. All right. Last but not least.
Oh yeah. That was it. That was your intro, Brandon, my friend. You need to give yourself some more credit. Sorry, I'm just joking. I am of course one half of Commander Crunch. We're not joined by Cheshire this week. He's off doing official duty things in. I think he's an A card thing in Sydney, basically with the Australian Trading Card Association. Anyway, he's on official business. So I'm doing all Commander Crunch business stuff today by myself, including this amazing thing we get to do here. But I'm of course Sam, one of these lovely Australians that talk a lot of shit on the podcast. And great way to actually link that back. I had a certain guest that was on the podcast today. We recorded before this, who had their number one objective to beat Jeff's record on Commander Crunch for how long the conversation went to. I'm like, sure,
shit.
try it, go nuts. It's Max Crandell. So he's like, I want to beat Jeff. So I haven't checked the timestamp, and I got to edit the thing, but we chatted for 3.5 hours. It was great.
Oh
so,
no,
yeah,
he might have beaten me.
Yeah, you may have to
Quick,
come back.
cut it down. Cut it
I
down.
may have to.
Edit. Edit.
Exactly. Yeah, there's a bit where he went to the toilet and all that stuff. But anyway,
Oh,
but yeah,
there's some time.
we,
There's some time on that toilet run.
Exactly. Yeah, you just powered through, my friend. I think you're just like, you don't take a break. Like, yeah, usually not. And like, what? It's the Simpsons kid where it's like, oh, we just hold on. But yeah, so yeah, for people that haven't listened, we talk Commander, culture, creativity, and community is the third C, and then Chesh says the fourth C, which is the C word, and and we just have good discussions with the community and talk about what Commander's all about, and that dovetails into why we love Lexicon so much, and why we hang out and talk shit on a Saturday night.
That's why we love you so much.
Ooh.
I know.
Hard.
All right, so really quick, we're going to dive into some MTG news. I've been pretty happy with some of the stuff that's been revealed with the new Time Spiral Remastered. So far, I think one of my favorite reborders, or I should say reprints out of this set with the border, is going to be the Yawgmoth. That just looks too good.
Yeah.
It just looks way
It belongs
too good.
there, you know.
Yeah.
And it's depicting like a super old character too, so it's like that's the thing. It's like the Knights of the Old Republic thing. It's like when in a lore nerd, you're talking about stuff that happened thousands of years ago, and for something to convey that in a way, it's like it even feels like an old card is super super cool because we just didn't see Yawgmoth for so long. And it's like, yeah. Wow, I'm actually looking through this list for most of it for the first time, and it's like there's some really cool stuff that need to reprint, so I'm happy to see it.
Yeah,
Very,
the
very
Felden
cool.
of the Third
And
Path one, I kind of like, but at the same time, I feel like that's what it should have been all of long. And when I look at it,
oh yeah,
it doesn't feel different to me. It feels like, oh yeah, that's what it looks like.
yeah, exactly. Have you seen the Twitter thing, MTG Flavor Judge Drawings on Twitter?
Mm-mm.
I think it's called that. It's amazing. So they had like basically just draws what would be accurate depictions of what happens in a Magic game, and one of them was like Felden's like, "She will come back to me," and like reanimates a worm. What do they call it? Well, I only know it in German. Worm spiral machine. Worm coil engine.
Oh yeah.
And
Worm spiral machine.
It's
Okay.
called worm spiral machine, one word. And yeah, it's Felden and the worm coil engine in a like a wedding dress. It's just like, it's perfect. And the other one's the ox like piloting the Parhelion 2, which is just like it's the best. It's so good. I'll find them while you're browsing through. But yeah, good times.
So yeah, so these are some of the old borders. Like there's the Slimefoot Stowaway and some other stuff.
That was a nice one. Yeah.
Are there some
I
that
got
you guys are looking at, or you guys are excited about?
all I have to say is that I am a huge fan of the old borders. I don't know why people are so mad by that. I've been hearing whispers that people are very, very upset for some reason about the
Really?
old
God
Yeah,
damn!
yeah,
Like people get
yeah.
upset about literally anything these days. Yeah.
I love it. I love the old
Yeah.
borders. It brings me back. Maybe because I'm
Yeah.
nostalgic. I'm an old man of 32 years old now of this year, and that's like that's like 80 in internet years.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Oh, you passed your prime. Come on,
way,
Dad.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, Dad.
All these
How do you,
kids in Fortnite.
how do you guys feel about the packs
Fortnite.
being reprinted as well? The Pact of Negation, Slaughter Pact, Pact of the Titan, Summoner's Pact.
I don't play them. Do you guys play them at all?
I don't play them.
I use Pact of Negation because I'm a monster.
Yeah, I have. I have one, and I don't know where it sits in my collection. Like, does it belong in a deck somewhere? And like, probably not. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think they're cool. They exist, but I personally don't really play them as much. But I'm not trying to protect any crazy combo usually. Yeah, nice. There's so many other like even like Crystal Shard's a really sneaky one. Like Game Nights made that really expensive, and like it's just a good card. And I think it was Game Nights. Yeah, of course it was. But that getting a reprint has had one for ages. There's lots of other little things. I don't know if anyone plays Lotus Bloom. It's kind of fun, but
yeah, I saw Lotus Bloom is getting an old border with it too.
Yeah, there's things like Arcades getting an old border, which feels really cool because 3-color dragons and those old borders just feel right. There's a play at any one time I might have 4 or 5 of the 3-color dragons built. Like I had Intet, I think that Victus was one of them, Chromium. But some of the old ones like Dromar and Croesus, like there's heaps of cool ones and like they belong there. And you got newer Arcades on that. It's super super sweet.
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, for sure. Is there any
Mangara of Corondor
card you're specifically looking forward to in this reprint?
Anything I need. It's like it's one of those ones like maybe not one in particular, but it's like it's got enough stuff to keep me like, well, I might get a box, play a little bit of it, that kind of thing.
How do you feel about the Panharmonicron being a part of the?
That I always seem to need 5 of them in all my decks, so it's like like so to have more is ideal. Like, yeah, I think it is like this is one of those ones. I hate to say it, but it's just like they're like, yeah, Commander's where it's at, right? I'm like, exactly. So like a lot of the stuff echoes that, really does. It like just really hot Commander pieces. Like a Tali. Oh, I didn't see a Tali. Holy crap, that's pretty cool.
Memes says, I feel like there's a very small group of people that are just extremely loud about the old borders.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. What is Johnny saying about somebody get her?
Get her.
Like
a stripper. He's just singing a song.
I
Yeah,
don't I don't
Joe,
know what song that is.
you got to put the musical notes next to the thing to make it sound like the song.
To
Exactly.
make it sound like in my
Yeah,
head.
it would look like my head exactly. Tassika's
This is
back with bananas is pretty fun. That's nice. And then Kiki Jiki, of course, had the funky dragon in the background as originally intended, which is nice. But yeah, lots of cool stuff. Molten Rain's got some amazing art.
Yeah,
Good times.
you need to have the musical notes so you can hear it in your head zombie. Thank you, everybody.
He'll be here all week, literally.
Exactly. These spoilers are never gonna give. Never gonna give.
I see you're
All right.
drinking a Truly, the worst drink.
Truly
they just
madly
had them at
deeply.
Safeway. I'd never had them before, so like might as well
Joke.
try them out because I pretty much just whenever I see a new beer, I try it out, whether it's good or bad. In the end, it's worth trying.
Hold on. What's you have Safeway? Did you say
Yeah, we have a Safeway.
Safeway is like a supermarket?
Yeah.
It's like a West Coast
So-
super big like grocery chain.
What does it look like? Oh, hold on. Because we had one called Safeway for ages. What? Oh no, it's an Australian one. Oh yeah. It might have been the same brand at one stage.
Johnny has a
Yeah.
good question here. I might have missed it, but are there some pieces or cards that you feel don't fit in the old frame?
Oh, maybe that's what people are upset about. Yeah.
I mean, for most part, I really like a lot of these with the old frame.
Yeah.
I'm not impartial really to any one of these not fitting. I think if there was one that I didn't like the fit for, I think it's Banishing Light.
Ah.
I'll pull it up for you real quick.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
It just doesn't feel great.
Yeah.
And I think it's because of the whole astral, like, that period and stuff like that. It just doesn't fit with the old border to me because I really saw it and looked to it like as a mythical, magical thing. And the newer border kind of supported that better. Not that it's like a million times better, but I just mean it fit better with those borders than something like this that just kind of looks out of place to me. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
I don't hate it. I don't think it's the worst. I'm just saying it's the one thing to me out of what I've seen of the releases that I just don't think fits.
Yeah,
I disagree.
I do have
good.
one actually.
I mean, you're allowed to disagree. That's the best part. But
Yeah,
that's for
and
me.
the best part,
What about for you,
Yeah.
Jeff?
Get out, Brandon.
Which one of these don't seem to fit for you?
I love them all because I am just
Oh.
that big of a fan of the old borders, and I'm being
Yeah.
100% honest.
Me too.
And you are objectively wrong, Brandon.
I am also
Yeah.
objectively right, so
No.
I feel like we'll be here for a while. So
Yeah.
that being
Stand
said,
off.
I think
I do have one, Brandon.
Yeah,
I
what's
do have
up?
one, Brandon.
What's up?
Because I didn't initially, and I was like, "That's fine." I'm in the Jeff camp where it's just like everything's great. I love these borders; they look sweet. The one that gets me, maybe because it just feels so like specifically from a set, is Liliana's Triumph. So one of black instant, each opponent sacks a creature, whatever. If you control Liliana Planeswalker, each opponent also discards a card. So it's talking about Planeswalkers, which, correct me if I'm wrong, and weren't around when those borders were around. So it's
Yeah,
like
for the
that's
most
the
part,
one that, like that feels off. But no, I'm not gonna, start a protest about it or anything. Yeah, exactly. It's fine.
Yeah, same here.
But that's probably
There's
probably
no
the
cards
only one on my
hate. It's
a bit
just
weird.
the one that seems out of place to me the most was the Banishing Light.
Yeah,
I love it.
Also, memes are saying the thing. I'm wearing a Seattle Supersonics hat, yet unaware of Safeway. Yes, I am a global fan. I still go for the Supersonics. I grew up going for them here in Australia, and I've never been to your lovely side of the world. But and I still hold on hope that Seattle get a team back. So sometime. But yeah, so like I said, Safeway was like I'm pretty sure we had the brand that turned into Woolworths. That's our like shopping center here. But yeah, I digress.
Yeah, the big shopping center is called Woolworths over there. Okay. Wasn't sure.
Woolworths, yeah. Brandon would have seen a Woolworths in his travels, right?
Yeah, but we never went in. When I was out in Australia, we're just getting fucking hammered left and right. And remember, I stayed across the street from the Crown, so I went to the Crown every day
And you
for
gambled
lunch.
like an MF.
Exactly. I went there for lunch. I went there for dinner. I fucking drank on the floor. I drank everywhere else. At night, we went to the club on the 3rd floor. I literally did everything I could in that crown for almost a week solid. And then we did go up to the Fitz, where I got the dumbest haircut of my life.
Because everyone's got the Fitz. I was like, where's the Fitz? Oh, Fitzroy.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
just
think
so
I
you know,
remember
I
that
spent enough
haircut.
time in the Fitz to just call it the Fitz.
I think I remember that haircut. It was really dumb.
It was bad. Because I walked in the place and I had like really shaggy hair, and I just looked at the barber and said, "Hey, just give me whatever you think looks good."
Don't
and
do
he
that.
did exactly what he
No.
had already on his head, which was the Schweeby, like the hipster haircut that defined the century for hipsters. And that's the haircut I got. And I had to spend the rest of the time there with this fucking dumbass haircut. And I was just like, I'm an idiot. I should have just said, take 2 inches all the way around off. I don't care what it looks like when you're done. Just take 2 inches all the way around off. And I think I would have been better, because then I could have styled it any way I wanted. But the way he did
Just
it,
give
it's
me
like
Lego hair.
that shaved side, that cut on the end, and then up, and then the rest of this like folded over like a true hipster. It was
Beautiful.
brutal.
Nice.
Yeah, you
It
do
was,
not look good with that haircut.
No,
I'm just
I
saying.
don't. I got an egghead. Is what it is. I got an egghead. Like, it just keeps going, and then it just rounds off, and it's just kind of like that pointy-looking head. And so when he did it, it just accentuated the fact that I just have an egg for a head, and I was just like, never doing this again. Never.
Miserable. Yeah,
Gorgeous.
I mean,
Gorgeous.
life pro tip: don't say to the hairdresser, "I'll have what you guys have."
Give me whatever.
I'll
Yeah.
have what he's having.
It's just ask for the usual and see how it goes.
Yeah. The usual. I've never seen you before. Yeah, the usual.
The usual. Shut up. Get to work.
Oh no.
Hey, what are you sipping on over there, Sam?
Oh yeah. So I changed from I got a local gin, which is now gone, which is nice. And I've got this is usually my after dinner drink, and because I got no beer in the house. This is a bit different. So I had to go to the liquor cabinet and get something a little bit interesting. So this I have is a local.
Oh hey,
it's a local
on,
vermouth.
chums.
Hey,
on,
tell Jeff to drink water, please. Drink the water. So this is a vermouth, but it's like an aperitif vermouth. So
Interesting.
it's one of the strangest things I've ever drank in my life. It's very magic themed. So there's like, I don't know if you see the art. It's like very all magical, and it says about alchemy and all this stuff. It's got desert lime and truffles in it. Like that's all I need to say. In a vermouth, something that feels like a warm hug from an astral body, I guess, is probably the best way to put it.
A warm hug from an astral body. You should have wrote that on the back of the bottle.
Yeah, exactly. Or this guy, which in my pile of weird cards I ordered this week, I just realized Norrit. Norrit's a good one. Yeah.
Nice.
So good
Beautiful.
times.
What made you get that?
I've got more of these to come, but Norrit is a 4-mana 1/1 imp that untaps a blue creature, so it goes in skeleton ship.
Oh,
Sure, and should be a legendary creature because the name Norrit.
I don't have any water.
So many questions.
And I've gotten some hydrate prompts, so I gotta.
Oh shoot!
I gotta go get some water.
Send help! Send help! Exactly.
Yeah, hold down the fort while I'm getting water.
We'll keep the rowdy zombies at bay. It's yeah, we'll do it. But Brandon,
I gotta tell you a funny story. When I was in Australia, the whole thing of me going to Australia, I don't know if I told you. I think I told you actually, Sam, because you and I have had this conversation separately. But it's always funny to me. So a friend of mine was gonna go out to Australia to visit a girl, right? A potential girlfriend, and she had just moved to Australia, and he's going out to go visit her. And he books all the tickets, and then she calls him and says, "Oh, I'm gonna be on the other side of Australia. I'm gonna be over by like Portsmouth and shit." And he was planning to go to Melbourne.
Melbourne. You said that pretty well. Melbourne. Yeah.
And so he was like, "Okay." He booked these tickets in July. He gives me a call because I'm down to go anywhere. If someone's going somewhere, just give me a call. I will hop on a plane with you and we will go. I am really open to travel. I've been to like 13 different countries. I'm really happy and comfortable with just kind of going. Anyway, so he gives me a call. He's like, "Yeah, we'll go to Australia. It's July." And I'm like thinking summer. And I'm just like, oh man, that's gonna be great. I start looking at all the beaches and stuff like that. I'm like, this is gonna be great. And then a week before I leave, I'm researching Australia, and someone was like, "Well, enjoy the winter," and I was just like, "The winter? What the fuck is he talking about?" So I look,
it's fucked.
Everything's flipped, and I was like,
"It's really cold.
I'm gonna be there in their winter. There's gonna be nothing for me to do. Like, where am I? I'm not gonna go out to the outback and just like hang out and chill. It's gonna be 30 below. I'm just like, fuck that.
Mind you, that's like half a country away anyway. But from here,
you will chill.
I'm just trying to find things to do while I'm out there. You know, like hiking or whatnot. But it's gonna be so damn cold, and apparently the worst fucking season to go visit Australia. So I'm like, okay, now I spent like half my time thinking and dreaming that I was gonna be on a beach slinging my dong over my shoulder, and no, it's freezy. Nothing's out. There's no like public like events going on because it's so cold. Like, we went all over the place in Melbourne and just could not find anything to do, and that's why I spent so much time at the Crown, because it was the only thing operating with other human beings in it at the time. And what we did is we went and we bought a ton of booze. We went to all the internet cafes and we played Heroes of the Storm in Australia, like maybe 6 hours a day. Like, and we just drank
memories,
a ton of food, and that's what we did for the week and a half that we were in Melbourne before we went to Sydney. And it was just so poor, like, planning in general. And it was just like, I'd already committed, and I'm not going to leave a friend high and dry. Like, he got shafted. I'm not going to shaft him. So in Melbourne, that's what we did. And then we, walked up to the Fitz, and we ate like 6 times a day. I think we spent like $200 a day on food and drinks.
It can get pricey, but it's like great. Like, you can eat whatever you want. Like, as in, it's got so many different cultures of food kind of represented in a great way. But yeah. You were in the entertainment precinct, they call it. The it's an entertainment complex, which Crown is just like, it's a money making factory. It really is. But I was gonna say, if you knew. Oh yeah. If you knew me back then, I could have showed you where all the dank commander clubs are and stuff.
If I knew you back then, I would have handed you $500 and I would have told you, get me fucking wasted. Take me to a local bar that you love, and let's fucking never leave. That's what I would have done.
The entertainment liaison. Yeah, exactly.
And to be honest, like, I enjoyed my time in Melbourne. I think I had more of a realistic like day in the life in Melbourne than I did in Sydney. Because in Sydney, we hit up like King's Cross, and like King's Cross has totally changed from what it used to be. Like, I did all my research on King's Cross too, and like, the whole thing with like the really bad drunken outbursts that happened throughout the course of the years, the vandalism that's resulting from it, like people.
And then they tried to put a 2 a.m. lockout, I think it was, in place, and it's like, what does that do? That just displaces all the people onto the street and the fights happen.
And the funny thing is, they were going to the next like precinct over, right? So everyone was going over to the harbor and stuff like that instead, and no one had restrictions over there. So it just
didn't solve anything
like everywhere else, and it was just a very interesting time, because I went there and there's a lot of really fun bars down in King's Cross, but that 2 a.m. thing, and they take it really seriously. I went from one bar to another bar, and the guy at the door said, "I can smell alcohol in your breath, mate. You're gonna have to stand out for another hour." And I was just like, "Yes, I just came from the bar across the street." And he's like, "Can't let you in." And I was like,
"Nope,
motherfucker." So I was just like, I just literally stood there in front of him for 30 minutes because it was the only club that just seemed bumping at the time. And then we went up there, hardly anyone in there.
Bumping. Yeah. You ever seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
Yeah, that's a good
No, I haven't seen it yet. It's so there's as well, isn't it?
There's a scene in that movie that's very, very accurate to how most bars in America work, especially in Vegas, particularly Vegas. It's the most accurate scene in the whole movie, where the guy is stumbling towards the entrance to the casino, and the guy just is like, "Come on in," and he like ushers in, he like grabs him and like pushes the door.
Oh man.
If you're gonna spend money in Vegas, there's an audience.
So what I'm trying to get at is I think I had a better time in Melbourne acting like an Australian than I did in Sydney, where it was completely different. I think I spent all my time in Sydney in Chinatown, because Chinatown was the only place that was alive in Sydney during the winter. Everything else was just dead. And I went to like the Westfield, and I hung out like a bunch of other places, and it just was not.
That's just the mall.
I know that. That's literally what there was to do.
Like, I went to Sydney and went to the Westfield.
Yeah, and I went to like the King Street Wharf, and like there's supposed to be a bunch of stuff over there, and then there's the Star over there as well. And I tried going to the Star, and it just like was not as fun as like the Crown. Well, and there's just like it's a lot more touristy, and I appreciate some of the touristy stuff. But when everything's closed for the winter, there's really not much to do tourist-wise, so we spent most of our time in Chinatown just, like, getting fucked up and eating a ton of food.
I think the kind of the correction, or not correction, but it's like, if you were to do it again, the one recommendation I'd say is go seek out live music somewhere, because that's going all the time, and it's much less CBD. It's like you said, out in Fitzroy, it's out in could be Richmond where I work, and like or different places, like, and there's bands, like the music scene's huge, like it's such a good place, like a good way to experience Melbourne for sure.
And, I hate the fact that you're not allowed to cuss on the radio in Australia. It makes for a very, very awkward experience to be flashback to the 90s, and you get no modern like hip hop.
You're not allowed to swear on the radio here.
No, I mean they bleep it out. In Australia, they flat out won't play the song.
Oh.
Or they become a censored, localized version or whatever. So they go,
really
what was it? Gold Digger by Kanye West was like something broke. It just repeated broke.
Yeah, they have that version.
And I was like, what?
Yeah. But no. I mean, in clubs, Jeff. I mean, in clubs, they cannot do it. They cannot do it in clubs. So when you go to a club,
I'm sure
all the older stuff and none of the newer stuff. We went
maybe they
clubs
bought
in
the
Sydney,
cheap, shitty one.
Clubs in Melbourne, and we crawled. We paid $10 at like maybe 10 different places, and like all the music was the same. I could go from one club to the next club and hear the same songs between them, and it not rotate out of that. And it was the same in Sydney as it was in Australia. There is nothing modern. Anything past, I want to say, like 2006 was not played in the club.
I make the joke.
Or anything.
I make the joke that we just got Titanic in the cinemas, but it's like we're backwards in some ways. Yeah.
But it made for a very horrible like clubbing experience compared to like stateside, where it's like
and again rowdy. Like I honestly reckon it's
Randy.
the floor of quality in our clubs is very, very low, and I think it's even like the regular pub too. I'd like to say, if like my interest is beer and like things that are nice and like actually caring about things, it's like our crappy pubs that are just have poker machines, which are just like slot machines, and like just the most commercial, like uninspired beer choices and angry people. They are a lot more prominent than the ones that have like 10 taps. The ones that have 10 taps are unreal. And then you guys have these bars that are just like, it's pretty normal to just have 20. That's fine. And so we get very excited. We get excited about exotic beers. It's like, oh, is Boston Lager on tap? That's pretty exotic,
Exotic.
Wait,
it's an import.
Did I tell you about the time I went to a bar in Melbourne and they were showcasing Coors?
Yeah.
And if you bought a pitcher there, they would give you a Coors beanie.
Yeah, nice. We've had that conversation before. People love American stuff here too, like
what?
It's burger
so
stuff,
bad.
whatever.
Like when they're telling me about it, I was just like, Coors? Seriously? Of all
Coors?
things, Coors? I was just like,
give us a Coors Light.
But then, of course, we're out here, and then people hand us a Foster's, and we're like, "Oh, it's Australian for beer."
Oh, I hate that.
It's not ours.
I hate that stuff too. It's gross.
No, I think everyone hates it. It's not ours. It's
speaking
like
of beer.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I didn't want to run you off your Foster's rant, but I'm drinking a Big Little Thing IPA from Sierra Nevada, and I just noticed that it's 9%.
Oh, it feels like a little thing, but it's a big thing.
Oof. Yeah, I was like, it hit me. I was like, ooh,
All right, my
What is
camera
this?
wasn't focused, so
Your
Yeah, it's-
camera
I'm
is
like
out.
this for the
Yeah.
rest of the
It's on
time.
drunk mode.
Right?
So as I said, I was talking to Max Crandell earlier today on the podcast, and we had some good beer
Okay.
chat. He's an IPA guy, and he used the term when it's like you get a big bowl of something. He's just like, well, I wanted a small beer just to whatever, but it's like this one only comes in this, and so I guess I'm drinking a silo. I'm like, yeah, I haven't used that as a terminology. So what you look like you're drinking out of a silo, Jeff? Like what's the?
We
Is
call
that like
this a tall boy.
A tall? Is that like 600 mils or what? Oh no, you don't use mils.
It's
do you?
19.2 fluid ounces. I'm not sure what the milliliter
Oh,
is.
milliliters. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Metrics, right?
We don't use that black magic over here. We use we
Oh,
use units that don't make sense.
Dang it! I'm two against one. Not in favor of the metric system. Shit. I need Joel in here. Help me, dude.
No, I much prefer the metric system, but because it makes sense. I'm like, what the fuck is a foot?
At
man.
least they're not doing like it's a cubit.
It's a cubit. Oh my god.
Why can't
I
it
had to
just
set
be
up.
10.2? But whatever. All right.
Why couldn't it be a yardstick or something? Yeah. A shilling. I had to. I had to set up I had to set up multiple press ads this week for US specifications, which threw me for a loop. So it was like, yeah, it was using like 1/4 inch, like 0.125 inch bleed on this one. I'm like, what even is this stuff? It was weird. It was like I just can't fathom how. I don't even know how large an inch is anyway. So it's like
Nobody does.
We don't even use inches. We just say it's roughly an inch, and then we just look at it and just like whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the funny thing. I feel like that's where I'm surprised Australia doesn't use something dumb like that, because it's very much in the nature of just like, it's about that much, like it's about the size of your hand, like, go for it. And even though it's probably some piece of sophisticated engineering that requires someone to actually care about it, but they're like, it's fine. I know my brother's a diesel mechanic, and he treats things a bit that way. Like he's just like, it's fine. Blows up his shed. It's anyway.
So the original,
that's throwing too much shade at my brother. He's a very smart dude, and he's
I'm sure he is. We were originally going to talk about our jobs, but it turns out Brandon is an international man of mystery. And
that's where I was going with this. Yeah.
The only thing that we know about his profession is that sometimes he's always coming in and out at weird hours. Sometimes he's got to go to the bathroom real quick, and then there's blood everywhere. There's like he don't take off his shirt because there's scar. Like he said, no, but we all seen the scars.
He's got a barcode on the back of his neck as well.
Got a barcode on the back.
He's always saying there's a problem with the toilet. Like,
yeah.
I gotta take a shit. I'll be back.
Yeah. See,
so we can't really talk about Brandon's job. That's fair.
No, we can't. We can't talk about Brandon's job.
Yeah.
But,
did you see, Jeff? Did you see how elegantly I segued over to our jobs?
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. You're a conversational wizard. I love it. I love. This is why I went on the podcast for so long, because you guys are so easy to talk to. I mean, Chess didn't really say much at all. I'm not sure if that's just how he is, or he just doesn't.
That's totally his style.
Okay.
Half the time he says, "You don't need me." I'm like, "That's bullshit." No,
man.
Today was the first podcast I did without him. It was weird. I was like, usually he just chimes in at like, he won't say anything for half an hour, and he just chime in and say something amazing, and just like, just absolutely throw us sideways. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Oh, he is.
I appreciate that. Yeah.
But he says he will only say, he says something when he wants to, like, and when he needs to, he's like, "No, you got this. It's fine."
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
that's what works for him, I guess. Good thing, because at first I was like, man, am I just like dominating this conversation? I don't want to feel like, because I tend to do that. Like, interrupt me if I'm.
No, am I
Jeff,
the asshole here?
Yeah,
I
usually am.
You're such an alpha, Jeff. Jeez.
Such an alpha Chad with my conversational skills.
My brother-in-law and my little funny little Melbourne clubbing scene thing that we used to do a pub crawl all the time. My brother-in-law and his friends and me, And it's always funny because when you said like places not letting you in for like, oh, you smell like alcohol. Usually the Melbourne, like the Australian thing is like, I can't let in 30 guys. Like, it's just like, or like, I mean, with us it's like maybe 10. It's like, yeah, of course that's not a good idea. That's not how like you get let into places. But like he had the whole thing. I love taking the piss out of like alpha kind of, like the boys, like,
the bro-y like, guy,
like like the guys with cactuses under their arms kind of thing. And yeah, so my brother-in-law bought a like it was like a kid's kind of like SWAT team little get up like set from like the discount store, and it just says Alpha Squad on the back.
Oh no.
Like Alpha Squad. And they just take the piss out of anyone. You see those people, you know exactly what they are. You see them out there, and they're the boys, and you're like, God damn. And people act so different in a pack rather than singularly. That some of them are probably really nice, intelligent people, but like, no, in a pack, goddamn, like, watch out.
Yeah,
so
there's a whole there's that's like SoCal.
Yeah. Oh, and then it always leads to my favorite one. You trying to be smart. Like if something's like escalating into like a conflict, it's like, who are you trying to be smart? It's like, oh god damn.
Oh
like,
no.
Oh no. Oh, stoop to your level.
Those are fighting words. You trying to be smart?
Those are fighting words. Exactly.
Oh man, what do we say? What do we say in the Bay when we want to fight? I don't know.
You want to fight? Like spending time in Hawaii, I'm just like, bro, you like scrap, huh? And just like local like taco, like you like one false crack. It's like it's totally different. Out here, it's just like you want to go. Oh, I guess it's just you.
Oh, want to go? No. It's in the Bay. Is that what's up? Is that what's up?
Yeah. That's like close to Oakland. In proper suburbs, it's like you want to go.
Yeah.
Just is out. Yeah, exactly.
And that's very Bay lingo. It's what's up? Is that what's up? Is that what? And then they start fronting and all that shit. And,
in that person's mind, they just imagine all the ladies around going, "Ooh, he's
very much.
It's not happening, is it?
The big guy.
You're a big guy. Yeah.
Let's see.
Claude said Hammmacher Schlemmer. Did we leak what we were talking about?
Hammmacher. No, we did not link Hammmacher Schlemmer.
How did Claude know about Hammmacher Schlemmer?
I think he named the stream Hammmacher.
Yeah, you told me to name it that. That's what I named it.
So I'm gonna go to the main page.
Beautiful
to link everybody. Thank you so much for bringing this into my life, Sam.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's
well, I actually went to the link that you sent, the Hammmacher.com home.
Hammmacher.com.
Dude, what am I looking at?
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about.
Talking about douche cultures, we're in another like seventh layer of douche culture hell.
Seventh layer of hell, douche culture.
Oh, this is beautiful. Yeah. So the beauty of this one, it's been around forever. Apparently, it used to come in the form of a hard copy, like mailed to your home thing, and the type of thing that like wouldn't like you'd move house and they'd track you down, they send it to you or whatever. I learned about this from a great podcast. I listened to a basketball one called No Dunks, which used to be the starters on NBA TV, and they used to be what are they called before that? Basketball Jones. They've been around forever. Anyway, but they took much mirth every year about laughing about what's in the Hammmacher Schlemmer catalog and all the great things. It's usually like the stuff at the top of each listing is usually fairly tame. Once you scroll to the bottom, you're in the
spirals.
Juicy down. It goes from like things that might cost you like weird, just luxury items that like they're just a weird mild convenience for like $30 to, do you want to buy a what is that? Do you want to buy the fastest what do you call it? The fastest car on water for $160,000. It's incredible. So one I found.
More. Just keep going.
Oh, just keep going. You got to look for the weirdness. So you can buy all these. What is that? That little lamb thing. That's $180.
What's underneath the lamb thing?
He's done.
Holy
Who would have thought
shit.
I'd take a chin toner? Far out. Yeah, so a lot of like weird, wacky like devices as well. So it's like it's the modern version of magazine ordering of things you didn't think you needed in your life. But yeah,
No,
Jeff, where was that category that had
It
the
was-
submarines?
it was under pool tools, pool tools, pool
Wait,
toys, pool toys,
Outdoor.
I love it.
Pool, outdoor
Outdoor
lighting.
pool. Okay.
Outdoor fun and pool, yes. So I love
Oh.
how pool toys escalates into freaking submarines. Like it's the best.
Is
So
it
yeah,
this
you get,
one?
I love this. The classic lifeguard.
The classic. Ah, yes, the classic lifeguard.
Oh yes, the classic lifeguard with the US flag underneath.
What
Yeah,
the
So yeah,
hell?
Look at that. And then they have a killer whale submarine with no price tag, because if you have to ask, yeah,
look at the
imagine.
guy having so much fun.
And he could buy this. He could buy this, and it's
Guys,
right
when we
next
make
to.
When we make it large in Magic the Gathering, that's what we're doing. We're buying. a killer
There you
whale
go.
submarine.
Right next to the hot tub boat and the $40 gator.
So as I was saying, Jeff, before, it's usually in ascending order of price, and then there's just the
Usually.
pool guarding gator at the end, just to
And-
bookend the whole experience. Like,
And there's the on the bottom left hand. The bottom left-hand corner, there's the cosplay from not Reservoir
Aquaman?
Dogs. No,
the Swamp Man.
not Reservoir Dogs. You know what I'm talking about. Zed's Dead, baby. That one.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Oh,
yeah, you could be the
it's
Pulp
the
Fiction
aquatic-
guy.
It's the aquatic gimp. Yeah, exactly.
It's
Exactly.
just a Jeep.
Yeah, no, it's just a Jeep.
It's an
an aquatic
amphibious
car.
car for $159,000.
So,
Yeah.
if you choose to reenact the scene off The Office where Michael and Dwight like go in the river, and it's like, no, you just got to listen to the thing, and it's like, no, that's the river. And if you did it in your world's fastest amphibious car, you'd just be like, cool guy sunglasses.
Thank you, Tom, for a gift sub to my own channel. I appreciate that. I think I'm already subscribed to us, but thank you anyway.
Wow.
What Claude's saying about this site is completely true, and it's like I think there was a point where Jeff and I were laughing and we got angry because this is like
We did get angry.
What you said before made so much sense. It's like I wish there weren't people living on the streets, and I wish websites didn't exist like this.
I said
It's
I wished I lived in a world where there weren't any people hungry on the streets, and nobody would be on this website contemplating buying anything. Specifically,
it's
the hot tub boat or the $159,000 under. If you're in a position where you're thinking, I can splurge on a amphibious car, then maybe just maybe you can use your money to do something a little better for the world.
This kind of reminds me of those shopping things that you get on the airplane where they hand you that map.
Yeah.
yeah.
It has big airplane catalog vibes for
They're
sure.
like, hey, you big shot, you're on an airplane. You're living large. How about I indulge you in this right here watch? What do you think? It's like Sky Mall. Yeah, is Sky Mall what it's called?
Yeah,
You're on
Sky
an
Mall, that's what it is.
aeroplane.
I was like, well, you know what, that's the funniest part. My mind just straight away when I hear Sky Mall, I just think Skynet. So
Yeah.
well, exactly. Like that's where we're at.
yeah.
Oh god.
That Sky Mall is definitely one of the great evils that are plaguing this world for sure.
Oh, Sky Mall has these vibes. There's like weird brain
Yeah.
helmets and things. Yeah,
Well,
that's
yeah.
great.
All Sky
Gadgets
Mall.
you don't need.
It's like weirder, sharper image where you just like a whole bunch of useless shit that nobody needs, and under any circumstance, like no, exactly. They have like those ultra infrared chin defining straps, and you're like, In what world? Who buys this? Yeah.
Exactly. The folks down the club are gonna think I'm so cool and different with my my more defined chin tomorrow. Oh, far out.
My
I'm just gonna
infrared
be the
chin.
I'm gonna be the envy of all my friends. Oh, it's the best.
Oh, your chin's looking rather extra strapping today.
Extra defined.
Extra fun.
I like how you left the strap on.
Oh.
I toned it with my infrared chin strap. Sky Mall, baby. Or I guess Hammmacher Schlemmer, baby.
Hammmacher Schlemmer, baby.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's where rich people go to burn money.
Wow, that hurt my lifespan.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, there's
so like I said,
Schlemmer.
like a lot of things, I don't know what I'm trying to relate it to, but it's like it's funny and it's great, and then there's too much of it, and you're like, I need to get out. So get out of Hammmacher Schlemmer and
before
go take a bath in your infrared bicep defining bath.
Get out of Hammmacher Schlemmer before it gets into you.
Ooh, baby. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna eat some fancy chocolate.
Claude said, "I'm glad I somehow sparked the idea of browsing that website for a moment." I was like, "Don't tell me you came up with that independently. Like we were talking about this before and like made it the title. I'm guessing whatever.
We actually were talking about this.
It was the whole idea, but like, what a weird thing if like no one ever knew we were going to talk about it, and someone's like, I suggest you talk about Hammmacher Schlemmer. That's next." That would be next level, like Google
Maps. You must have had to incept that into like
exactly.
Like you would have had to majorly incept that into Sam's mind, because Sam's the one that brought it up to us.
Unless you posted something in chat that we didn't see, in which case, great minds think alike.
It was just Hammmacher, and then just like the next like 10 sentences down is just Schlemmer.
Okay, so
that's right.
I gotta talk.
It is in the title. It's fine. It's fine.
Can I talk about this chocolate that I bought real quick?
Oh yeah.
So I like I said,
are we doing a show and tell now?
No.
We always do a show and tell, Brandon. It's the best part of the show.
My mom bought me this like gift card for Goldbelly. It's a premium food delivery service, but you get like
shout out to Jeff's mom.
Shout out to my mom. She's great. Love her. And you could get like food from across the country from like famous restaurants, but they send it to you like in dry ice and shit. And I'm like, I'm not trying to put a famous New York pizza in my freezer and warm it up later. So I'm like, what is great that you could find across the country that is going to be a lot of money? And I'm like, chocolates, really good chocolates. So look at the ridiculousness of these bars. Like here, like these bars come in like rubber bands.
It's so cool. It should probably say not chocolate. Like
it is amazing.
It's chocolate with like a line through it. It's like it's not even chocolate.
Look at this. It is chocolate. Look at this fucking packaging. So you have to you have to like pull it open like this, and
unlock
pull the chocolate
Bluetooth
bar out, and there's like a Louis Vuitton logo.
Well, same bag. You can make a bag out of that.
This is dark Madagascar, so I'm gonna call me off.
I'm a live read on this one.
I love Ghirardelli chocolate.
Oh, hold on.
You fact us through a piece, Jeff.
Oh my god. I guess it's made with like extra virgin olive oil too, or something like that.
And Tears of Angels.
That is dark.
Oh
no!
Yeah,
this
I freaking love when they use verbiage like intense.
Yeah, I actually keep these bars by my desk, so I love the heavy 92 plus or heavy 90s plus. It just tastes like ground earth, I guess, but it's still pretty good.
It's beautiful. It sounds like beautiful. It tastes like beautiful dirt. It's really nice.
And the nice thing about it is there's like really not much like added sugar to it. I think there's in this whole entire bar, there's 3 servings, and there's only 2 grams per serving of sugar in this, which is insanely great for chocolate, right? So I'm a Ghirardelli whore, I guess.
Well, Ghirardelli is good.
I'm a rum and raisin fan, but No, I love like those levels in the '90s of dark chocolate get to the point of like people can take it as pretentiously as they want to, and it's just like, your palate can't handle 95%. Like you just have to. I remember when we were in Switzerland for Kentucky or whatever, and went to the Lindt store. I'm like, I'm just gonna get the 99%. That's what you do. It's, of course. And you open it up, and it has the most like passive aggressively like worded warning. Like we suggest you try your palate out on a 92 or like a 90, like even like an 80, or and you just got to adjust your palate, like you're not gonna and it's like get stuff. And I got into it. And I was like, well, yeah, that's pretty intense cocoa, but like I like it. It's nice.
Yeah,
but you just give a piece to people. Yeah, you want some chocolate, and
I mean, no one ever asks for my chocolate, so it's great. I don't have to share.
That's also why I get mine. Totally. Like, if Kate's really desperate, she'll grab some like super dark chocolate. But like, she's it's like we're not sweet tooths in this house, and they can totally exist for weeks, and it's fine. Like, it's like it. Dark chocolate.
Yeah, this is very, very dark. It looks like milk chocolate, but it is intense. Love it.
I want that coffee one you said about, because that'd be my jam. A lot of people ask me why I don't smoke cigirettes, even though I love everything that's dark and like just intense. Like, give me a 12% stout, or like give me like long blacks, or like short blacks is my coffee order. Like, it's just how it goes. But some reason never got into ciggies.
Well, that's probably for the best. I'm trying to quit smoking. Well, I quit smoking, and now I'm on this stupid vape shit.
This vape train.
A vape nation. Yeah. I'm on this vape. Oh man, that is really good. Brandon, you'd really like this stuff. I like Ghirardelli. Ghirardelli has a well, they used to have a place in San Francisco, and I went there one time, and I got a what do you call it? Ice cream sundae, and it had marshmallow, like double fudge, vanilla, and the nuts, and the whole everything, and it made my whole day. It was so delicious.
So I will tell you one thing about my job. I work in San Francisco downtown, and I'd say probably twice a week I would get Ghirardelli on the way home, and I'd like eat it on the way home, because the Ghirardelli, like, they have the main square is further off away from where I live, but they have little like stand-up places all throughout the downtown area. So I would get it because it was in between me and Bart. There would be a Ghirardelli, there'd be a really good Indian restaurant, and a really good taco place called Unos Dos Tacos, and I would hit any one of those three on the way home, no matter what day it was. It just like I'd pick one at random, and that's what I would do on the way home to eat or drink or whatever. And I absolutely loved it, and I 100% will say that the ice cream sundae that you get from Ghirardelli is like on a whole nother level of ice cream sundae.
Oh, I agree. It is delicious, especially in a glass cup. Big fan of Ghirardelli, but this stuff is, I don't know, Brandon. Pretty good.
I mean, I want to try it now.
Yeah,
just lick every corner of it and then ship it to me.
I'll lick it, and I'll smother it all over your body, right? Just like we do before every stream. I also got these bourbon balls, which I think, Sam, you would love if you like rum raisin. Yeah, it's they're Woodford Reserve bourbon balls from Kentucky. Yeah, it's already. Yeah, exactly. Oh,
alcohol and chocolate.
When I say they taste like bourbon, they taste like bourbon, and not in a strong, like, overpowering way, because they have here. I'll just show you one right here. I got to open up this fancy box here.
Like rum balls are the work of the gods. Like, it's
this is what they look like. They're delicious. And I got creamy inside. Oh,
damn, that looks really good.
Oh, it is.
I believe it.
I feel a
food channel. I like this. Yeah, like food reviews.
I feel like the what's that kid's name? I almost said Hans Gruber. I feel like the little fat kid, fat German kid in Willy Wonka.
Oh, Augustus Gloop. I made it.
Augustus Gloop on this channel right now. I'm just like picking out on talking.
The second time this week I've mentioned Augustus Gloop. I don't know, like what's the other one? Oh, something. Everyone was making those MTG puns about like EDH.
Thank you, Claude.
It's like EDH, but it's this, and like Mr. Bevis said, it's like EDH, but like everyone's like doing something. I can't even remember what it was. It's like bad puns or something. It's like cheese DH. I'm like, oh yeah, and
Wow.
I think Colin or something. Anyway, like this, why do I even try and explain what happened in tweet thread? Because it's not that interesting, but it's very funny. It was funny to me, but basically we're talking about the idea of being in a cheese kind of flood, and like some people might find that really happy and like amazing. And I said that's terrifying, and I said as an Augustus Gloop situation, as like that I'd be drowning, and that's like a pool of cheese. That's gross. Like
that is gross. Anything. This actually is. The older I get, I don't know why. I've noticed the older I get.
Why is Jeff time?
What?
It's wise Jeff time.
Oh,
Gather around. You're wise and you're Jeff.
I'm not wise. I was just gonna talk about the older I get, the more it grosses me out to see like food on people's face in the body. You know? Yeah. Like some. Oh God. It like actually, you think I'd be desensitized to it, but the older I get, every time I see like hot wing sauce over somebody's face and they're like deliberately trying to make it like messy and gross, I just like I can't look at it. It's like
just throw up and go. Do you know the worst? The social construct where people feel so awkward with secondhand embarrassment that they can't even bring up to tell someone they got shit on their face.
I do that, but
I hate that. I can't do that.
Oh, it's too awkward. I can't say it. Well, they've got to deal with it. Like,
yeah, it's an art. There's an art to it. All you have to do is just directly, exactly. You just point it and you'd be like, in mid conversation, just be like, "Oh, you got something over here," and they're like, "Oh," and then they just correct it. Boom. Yeah, he got.
What I do, I don't even say anything first. I just look at them and I wait till our eyes lock in that awkward kind of moment, and I go.
Oh,
like
don't do that. Don't do that.
No. Like if you've got like a booger or something, or if it's in your eye, I go like this to exactly where it is.
Yeah, but you have to engage, otherwise in your head.
I'm just saying that's how I do it at first, and after that, if they don't get it, I just stop them. I just say, "Bro, before this goes on for too much longer, you need to do this," and then that's it.
That shit's embarrassing, bro. You have to engage with them, so it's like so you make them feel like it is no big deal because it really is. You know, just like have a conversation, be like, "Oh yeah, hey," and then in the middle, just sort of be correct it, and then they take care of it, and it's done, and then move forward.
They'll be thankful to you. That's the point.
Exactly.
Oh, thank you for saving me from extra
I'm sorry for telling you before you did it for the next hour. Like, I guess I'm the monster.
you know, it would make me feel like shit if someone stared at me, and then like this.
No, I'm not saying like I just like. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying, like, if we're in conversation and we actually like make eye contact, I'd rather use body language and just like.
That's so awkward, dude.
It's not like I'm sitting there going, waiting for you to stare at me.
That's what it feels like.
Oh, that reminds me of another fun thing to do. Have you ever like just looked at someone, had a conversation, and start looking at their hairline?
No.
What? It destroys them. I never thought it would work, but you start to look at their like instead of like looking at their eyes, you just look up a bit. No, what
that's fucked up, bro.
Yeah, how to mess with people. It's great. Anyway, but that usually would like imply having a social a social situation, which we haven't kind of been able to have those recently anyway. So I don't know. Fun things to do when we get back in person. You know,
fun things to do. I'm looking forward to my second vaccine. I'm looking forward to getting back on stream, but as I said before, I have an obligation to myself and my coworkers, and so that's why you haven't seen much of me on stream.
And the great game of Magic the Gathering.
And I'm not going to shame you guys or anything like that because you're the masters of your own destiny. It's just my personal principles, and plus me being, if we're talking about jobs, me being a safety professional,
Yeah.
I think it would, behold. It would
Be on
uphold.
brand to care about safety for one.
Yeah, exactly. It would uphold my code of ethics that I'm
Well,
not trying to
Jeff, to be
expose to
fair,
anybody. Yeah.
you are a part of the safety for food in distribution. So
Yes.
for me, I feel like that's more important than someone who's a keyboard warrior who doesn't have to worry about that kind of shit. You know what I mean? So you don't ever have to like apologize for that.
Yeah. I just feel a little bad that, I'm technically a host and I'm just not on the stream, but
I mean that never stops anyone from being a host. Look at Nick S. He's been quitting on us for like 6 years, and he still comes in and just says, "I'm not a host, so I guess I'll just yeet myself out of here." And no one says a word,
No,
and he just takes himself out in the trash can that he made, and it's just like,
yeah, we still love Nick. He's a family man now.
I was thinking about that today. You guys are always just part of the family. Like, that's the whole point of it. Like, it's not like you haven't been here for 2 weeks. So, time's ticking.
blood in, blood out.
Blood in, blood out.
We got those sweet Twitch internet points to get when we're under quota. Like, you haven't done enough funnies this week. Like, there's people. It even blew my mind. It's like, well, yeah, to see Nick S like on earlier. Like, I just went deep in the lexicon lore and like the YouTube series. I'm like, oh, it was like, just running through things, and it was his kind of stream at one point, kind of thing. But he's still there, and I see you guys as like it's just an even thing. Like, that's the beauty of it. It's like you guys did actually went to the seminar about culture in the workplace and like actually actioned all that shit. So yeah, good job. Yeah,
thank you.
It's friggin' real. So yeah, I love it.
It is real because it's weird to like think about the history of lexicon and where we are right now, though. But I don't want to get too deep into that. We just had a really, I want to say, not even spotted history. Like, we're just getting better and doing better things like this, and that's what I love about it. And it hasn't lost momentum. And you know who we have to thank for that? Brandon.
Oh, wait, why?
Because you charge everything. You take charge. You take here. Let me. Oh, well. this guy. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you take the lead on a lot of stuff. So I really appreciate that. That's why it hasn't.
Everyone needs a hand. Everyone needs a Hans Gruber.
So, everyone needs a Hans Gruber, and you are a Hans Gruber.
I am no Hans Gruber. But no, thank you. And honestly, I just want to see people have fun. I think I get more joy out of lifting other people up than I do trying to stand higher than everybody else. So anything I can do to drive things. People have a lot of great ideas. I think a lot of people just lack that motivation or lack the know-how. And if I can provide either or, then I'll do it. I don't know.
I know. Yeah, you're great, man. We all love you. That high fives for Brandon in the chat. Let me put a 5 in the chat for Brandon, I guess. Yeah.
Somehow my hand ends up in Jeff's screens.
No, that'd be great. Dude, I
thanks, Todd. Thanks.
Speaking of travel, I'm really looking forward to the day that we can all hang out at a Magic Fest now. I was going to say GP, but man, that's going to be...
I had that conversation with Max today again, and I love it. I brought up with a bunch of guests, but like the original one was with you, Jeff, because it's like that was the first time I feel like a part of this this MTG community, and it's like there's a bloody reason to jump on a plane and spend a bunch of money to go see all these people. Like it's like hell yeah, like yeah, and how much?
It was the most surreal experience. So we're not a big channel. We aren't, but I like that. I kind of like that because there's no crazy high expectations or like you're not under a microscope kind of deal.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, exactly.
But the most surreal fucking experience is having someone ask for your autograph or you to sign a card or to draw a dick butt on their card.
I forgot about all of
that. Just like they're like, oh, you're Jeff, because I used to wear a bunch of rings, but I can't anymore because I'm in the food industry. So I kind of I need to bust them out, but anyway, they're like, oh yeah, I recognize those rings. You're Jeff from Lexicon. I'm like, how? what? Yeah, like let me get a picture, and I'm like, you serious? It was so crazy. Yeah, it's the weirdest feeling in the world to actually have people come up to you and do that. If you do recognize me in a GP once this is all over, then just know that I really appreciate you, but it is very weird. I mean, not that you're doing that, but for me, it's a surreal experience. Yeah.
You're like, do I watch what I say, or like, oh god,
Yeah. You know,
I
and
think. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the next GP we go to, I think, is gonna be one that I probably will remember the most. One, reconnecting with everyone around us, but two, we have become very infamous. In many regards in the community of places not to go with your children, but places that you go to hang out on the DL when you have the chance.
It's so the fact that we have other content creators like yourself, Sam, like Commander Crunch and crew actually come on is like glorious, because we have a lot of big players that won't even touch our then they're like, yeah,
they're lost.
Oh, you guys kind of
You'll find us at the Hammmacher Schlemmer bar.
Yeah, exactly. We got an interview or two with Brian. Brian, the professor. He's a cool dude, loves his whiskey, as do we. And we have been trying to get him on stream, but he's a very busy man. We did get what's her name? It's not Sickly. Who do we get on stream? And I'm embarrassed now because I can't remember her name.
Oh, Stephanie from Quad Nines?
No, the really big player. She's got the joke about feet that she always does. Okay, never mind. Okay, that's embarrassing.
Rachel Weeks or Olivia Gobert Hicks or something.
Olivia, we got Olivia.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, we've had a lot of people on stream actually.
Yeah, but big players.
I was gonna say,
yeah, that was before the pandemic. We actually had Olivia in studio.
Yeah, that was fun.
Can't wait to do that again.
And she stole my fried rice.
Just gonna hold on to that till the end of time.
I'm gonna hold that grudge until the grave. Her and her friends stole my rice. I was looking forward to that rice.
Oh, it's gold. And it's like I was actually talking about that that you guys had what is essentially like you're always capturing that in studio thing, which is like you actually have gone to all those lengths to actually make that space, which is incredible. And then for like last year to come along, you're like, oh shit, what do we do? And it's like, well, we can still have some, like, we're our own networks, whatever, but we're gonna have to patch in some friends. And like that pivot was incredible. It was just like, well, and that has become, I mean, I keep saying it, I'm biased because I love the place and you guys love me, so it's like I like to give back, but it became my like center of Magic. Like it really did. Like the cultural center, like, never mind all the stuff going on in LFG, webcam, like, the Discord, all that stuff. But it was like, it was just that place. It was actually the dive bar, and it was real. And it's like, you guys actually realized it. And then like, who's on this week? And like, you'll have people from all around the world, and they all have their stories. And it's the time to play Commander and then tell those stories rather than be like, we've got to be this stream product that's that's polished and it's like, it's like, no, whatever goes. And it kept us doing what we're doing with the podcast, which is, I'll say, like, loose than a lot of other podcasts, but that's the way I want it, because I also don't have as much time to do a lot of work during the week as extra work, like highly produced editing, and it's the way I speak. You guys know that. I shit on for crazy hours about like whoever knows what. It doesn't matter. I'll just talk about anything I want. It's fine. So
yeah. I was gonna bring that up. What you guys are, I wish I could do what you guys are doing with your podcast, because it's so incredible. No, I'm serious. I mean, serious. Like, and I'm not just pulling your leg here. Like, it's like, how do you organize this? I've tried to, I can edit audio and all that stuff, but it's just like, man, you guys are constantly putting out great content on a podcast, and I'm just thinking, I don't know what the secret sauce is for that kind of stuff, and I really. Oh, by the way, Commander Crunch, go listen to it. It's awesome. Always a good time. And you guys like your website. I love your website integration. Like I haven't figured out how to do any of that shit.
Oh, that's
And
easy.
yeah.
That's literally an out of the box platform called
Oh,
Fireside,
nice.
which
Oh,
does all
sweet.
that. But the bit I have a lot of fun with is the design because that's what I do for work.
Yes.
Like, and it's a
Yeah.
little story too. It's like I have like a little bit of synesthesia. I'm pretty sure. Like basically, I see a lot of colors where I probably shouldn't see colors. And
Oh.
when I'm thinking of a conversation, we're having a conversation. I'm probably seeing color, like it's tone,
Oh.
and like that's why I view music too, which is weird. So I was like, how about I shade every episode with kind of that. It's got to be vivid and different colors, and like I was
I
like, hell
noticed
yeah!
that. I was gonna ask you about
Every
your
album
cover
cover is an
art. Yeah.
opportunity. Like, yeah, and then pulling out like what I even call the episode, I'm really sometimes proud of. Like, it's just what I can like distill that episode down into where that conversation went. Because that's the thing. It's like I see a lot of places and they're quite highly produced. They're doing deck techs and stuff, and that's great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like for me to compare myself to them, I'm thankful I don't do it anymore. And it's like because that's their style and this is my style, and
It's a
it's
different
kind
thing.
of yeah, and like I never know what I'm going to call an episode, or like even like the ultimate crux of it until we've done it. That's the fun part.
I think
And
that's the
by
way to
the end of it,
go.
I'm like, I know the perfect title, and it'll be like, like what was it with Ryan from
thank you, man.
CCO?
You have a good
It's like
good
cookouts
breakfast.
and camaraderie. Like like that summed up what we spoke about, like in a cool way. And some of them actually turned out really well. What was yours, Jeff? Dive bar tales. I believe.
Yeah, it was Dive Bar Magic. I think it
This
was
was the most
sim-
epic one we had. It's just like 3.5 hours, and then the beer chat I just left at the end as well. So like after
that was like my favorite part when kept the music playing. I'm like, oh, he kept this in. This is so cool.
yeah, exactly.
It was
And that's the thing.
awesome.
The secret is I don't cut much of it at all.
Yeah. That's what gives me my high score right there. Is the beer chat.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think
Thank
I
you.
think that's wonderful what you're doing with the cover art. I love it. I was gonna ask you about it, but you already talked about it. And the
Sam,
thing
do you
is,
just keep a kaleidoscope at your desk? Is that what you do? Just like as you go through
That's
these,
why
you're just like
Ooh,
kaleidoscoping everywhere.
yeah,
the thing is too,
I don't
you
right.
mentioned earlier about like deck text and all that stuff, and there's a place for that content, right? And I think there's
Yeah,
plenty of it.
and
And I
I
don't
don't think
think there's. Sorry, what was it?
just don't think I'd be very good at it. Like if
Yeah,
I
me
could
neither.
I couldn't produce it every week and like with the same amount of passion. It's like, oh shit, I'm doing it because I
Yeah,
have to. Like,
like I said,
some people are.
there's a. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man. This is
No, you can go. Sorry.
oh,
I keep what I do. I get too excited. But yeah, go
oh,
for it.
oh, no. Me too. I got too excited. There's a place for that content, and I think the people who do it well do it very well. And I don't want to go anywhere. I don't think they should change, and all that stuff. But there's a play. I don't think the reason why we do what we do because we didn't really see this kind of stuff being made consistently. Like this, like a channel's dedicated to just like casual fun bullshit,
Mm.
whatever. And we're like, this is like kind of our brand. And I don't. There's probably other channels that do this kind of stuff. Like a really good one that I keep shouting out and I want to do something with them eventually is Quest for the Jank Lord. Like I
Mhm.
really think that they are doing something super unique
Yeah.
and baller. Like you don't find stuff like that really when it comes to Magic the Gathering because it's a niche community. It's like a niche, and we're commanders, so it's like a niche within a niche, and we're like bullshit tabletop, which is like three niches deep, and the fact that we have an audience is like astounding.
Mm.
But like I said, there's always you could find a million channels that tell you what the best cards are and how to build a deck and news and stuff. I even drama channels, which I hate.
Oh.
But that's a side exactly. But there's thousands, there's tons of those. Like what I think what when I say us, I mean like our channel and your channel is doing is unique in its own right, and there's a place
Mm.
for it.
Yeah,
I'm
and
done.
I'd like to think we yeah, no, mic drop. I'd like to think it's also like with the mission of the same thing, which is like for me it's cultivating the good parts, which is like I'm continuously learning from different people's perspectives, and I know that's never solved in a great way. So, and that's what I'll always have guests on because it's like, yeah, they do half the work because I think I'm at my best when I'm having conversations with people. I'm just
Mm,
enjoying myself.
me
But
too.
it's like I will provide something different. Like, I haven't thought about it that way. That's really sweet. And like it becomes a lexicon, if you will, of like the way I look at magic kind of thing. And it's going, well, it's a game. TM Joel, he said this. It's a game. Let's have fun.
Yeah.
Enthrallment. Everyone knows him. But yeah, it's like when things are really going down, the community is just up in arms about whatever freaking thing was last week, whatever. You just like take a step back and go, like, we're all enjoying a game here. Like,
yeah.
We can't do that. Like, I'm gonna have a pretty sad time because it's like this is what I go to for fun. Like, exactly.
It's a card game that brings everyone together. It's it's
Yeah.
got a lot of
And that's
nostalgia behind it.
Yeah, people invested, and I think that's what we try and address too. Like, and we try and have those discussions to acknowledge every way people might approach it, of course. But yeah, it's and like just dismissing it all that as like, oh, just have fun. It's a card game. I don't mean to dismiss like things that are problematic and that kind of stuff. Of course, they will get discussed. But yeah, exactly.
Fun is very important, especially nowadays, where there's not very much fun stuff on TV. Always appreciate fun. I'm a really big fan of the mundane and the because this is something that's extra normal is getting together with people online and enjoying a fantasy card game. Like who can and people I got a lot of coworkers that are like, "Oh, what do you do for fun?" And I'm just like, "Well, I don't really talk about it too much with my coworkers because it's like I don't want to bring them into this if they don't know about it, kind of deal."
Kind of multi-layered. I get what you mean there. It's like it's not just like I'm going to set aside. This is my 1 hour for fun today. Done. Like it's like you kind of I'd say you live and you breathe it now. It's like you touched on that thing too. It's the way I like to look at things as well. Like trying to find joy out of all the pockets of little things. Like that's kind of that helps a lot of things. It's like one of those keys to, I don't want to say success, but it's just happiness. It's like, it's David Bowie, I reckon, looked at things like that way. It's like, everything's interesting. You can get a bit of like, it's inspiration from this. And it's like, this is a chair. It's like, think about it alternatively. Like, it's like, wow. Yeah, when you put it that way, it's like, it's like if otherwise you're waiting for things to become interesting and come to you, and it's like it probably never will. Like it's and I know I can't summon that every day, but I try to. Like
nobody can.
No, exactly. So yeah. Anyway,
like segue.
I
believe that we wanted to watch something.
Did we want to watch something? What do we want to watch?
And maybe that's a good way to wrap it too, because I mean,
let's play the Goblin game.
Well, yeah, if you want to, I'm gonna have to wrap up pretty soon anyway.
Oh, okay. I can make it short.
But
you got to head out like now.
No, it's 7:30, so in like 22 minutes.
Okay, perfect.
Is when our booking is for. So that's right. Perfect. In this country, we can have little safe kind of dinner dates.
I will say for a Goblin game, I got a $150 smartwatch. It tracks heart rate and all that other stuff, and highly recommend it.
Is it a Fitbit?
Nope, it's called Amazfit. It's the Amazfit GT2 SE. The best money I've spent for what I got lasts so far for about, I would say, just under 2 weeks before I have to charge it.
I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna get my Goblin game object.
Okay, gotcha.
Highly recommend it. For the money that I spent on it, it tracks my health like I never have tracked my health before, which is good. Multiple sides of my family have heart conditions and stuff like that, so this tracks my heart rate as well as sets an alarm or has an alarm go off if I'm sitting still and my heart rate goes over a certain amount, it like alarms me. And that's really important considering like 90% of my family has like heart problems. So best money I've spent so far. I highly recommend it. Costs like $150. Just go buy it.
I got something in the mail. Sorry, I'm finding the link right now. Unless you want to go first, Sam.
Yeah, while you do that, I'll do mine. So this seems a bit weird, but I brought my shoes in because these are ones I'm really happy with. So I got these. I've worn them. Sorry, they're not box fresh or whatever. These are Cariumas. I think that's the way to say it. So these are. I've never talked about it much, but I spent many years as a skateboarder, and so skating culture is still something I can never detach from. I love it, all that stuff, and it's just amazing. But recently I found out about this brand, and they've made these sustainably kind of responsible, just all eco materials, that kind of stuff. You buy a pair of these, they plant 2 trees in the rainforest, like that kind of stuff. It's like this brand that just popped up, and they're like, why are all these other brands like taking advantage of, basically poor working conditions, cheap labor, all this stuff, and this is the modern age. People care about this stuff. Like, let's make something as the most ethically sourced as we possibly can, and just make a kick-ass shoe. And all these pros have jumped over. I'm like, yeah, we love these more. Like, these are amazing.
Send
and
me a
they've
link
jumped
to
over.
that. Yeah, I'm not familiar with them. I wear Vans exclusively.
Yeah, so a lot of people like with Vans, they're like, oh, I want to skate for Cariuma now, like, stuff like that. So it's Cariuma. I'm not logged into Twitch, so I'll have to send it through this anyway.
I found it.
They are from Brazil. We've got one distributor in Australia, and I pre-ordered, and they weren't that expensive for what they are. The same I'd pay for a pair of Vans. And that's so lovely. They took like 2 months on pre-order to get here, and they apologized because they're like, oh, they're going to be a bit later than we thought. They've sold out the first time, or like everyone's getting onto it, and they sent me another like $20 voucher. I'm like, you guys are legends, amazing. But yeah, Cariumas are sweet, and they're so comfy. They're the best. Love it.
I gotta look into getting me a pair of those.
Yeah,
right on. Let's see. Okay, so I got in the mail. One of my friends is an artist. I have to tactically cover a portion of this for Twitch.
Tactical. Does it have like?
That's always a great start to a show and tell.
See, all right. So, here, she makes these. She made this sticker recently. Very good artist. I can drop a link into. It's a very cute. It's a kawaii Baphomet.
I love it.
The portion, the no, or the what do you call it? The bannable offense portion blurred out on that. Oh, there's an ice cream cone too that she's so.
Destroy the Twitch channel. It's too much.
Yeah, exactly. But I just linked their Instagram in the chat.
Oh, nice.
Very good stuff. Honestly, like, I'm not joking when I say I saw it, and the quality of this is like insane. I couldn't believe it. It looks like a sticker that you'd see it like at a convention. Like they had a booth, and this sticker would be like $15 kind of deal. Like some of the like the Omo Cat stuff, which I love, but a sticker from them costs like $20. But it seems like it's like that quality. Like, whoa, it pops out. It's unique. It's different, and I love it. I ordered 10 of them.
Sweet.
So I've been kind of doling them out to people that I know would appreciate them. I can't just like walk up to somebody and be like, "Hey, take this." They'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Randomly, here's some kawaii titties.
I don't want what you're selling.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my little Goblin Game item today. It's a mail item too, but I know I showed off some chocolates and wolfed them down like Augustus Gloop. But
Augustus. Save some room for later.
Oh man, it's good chocolate though. All right, we are wrapping it up.
We watched ourselves some Willy Wonka when we were kids. Far out. We watched the shit out of that show. That movie. Oh my god.
Absolutely. Next time around, I think this went really well.
Much better than our first one. Yeah.
Way better. This is officially episode 1.
We'll jot down some loose things we are interested during the week.
I will say though,
and then the rest will take care of itself. That's kind of the way it goes.
Yeah, I will say though that people really enjoyed our tier list breakdown thing.
Oh
so
yeah,
we'll have to do that again.
It's better with 4 people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's the multiplayer. Everyone's got a controller. Like, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. It's better with more voices because more people can argue about.
Exactly. Now, quick one. Oh, yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Go ahead. Uh-oh, I lost sound.
No, I'm still here.
Oh,
How's
okay,
that?
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
when you were talking about your rings and stuff before, I was like, oh yeah, I haven't seen them on. You haven't worn them for a while, but that was such a cool like brand Jeff thing to do. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm surprised not more like webcam commander doing the thing, streaming, whatever. That being the way it is, and people becoming the personalities they are, I'm surprised people haven't done more to like brand their hands and make it like, oh, think about what you wear on your hands because that's the bit people see or whatever. And next thing, for some reason, my mind went to, watch this guy play with wooden hands or like, or the puppet hands or like, it's just like, let's play puppet hand EDH, like, so yeah.
I'm gonna make a concerted effort to bring the rings back. I just keep forgetting them because they're in my little bowl over there. And I look at them, I'm just like, oh man, I remember I miss them, but I never get to wear them at work anymore. They're just in a bowl now, and
You don't go to social things, so what's the point?
Yeah, exactly, 100%. But I'm gonna bring the rings back for sure because I miss them dearly. Also, there is one guy, real quick. There's one guy on like Facebook video or some shit. I don't know. I see his videos on Facebook all the time, and I guess he's on YouTube too. He solves really, really incredibly expensive and complex puzzle boxes, and he's got tattoos all over his fingers. He's got like the Post Malone of hands.
Thought about this exactly.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I like to think I wear some accoutrement on my hands, like my wedding ring, whatever. But it's like you could really ramp this up. Yeah, some things, and yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And just sell the space for advertising. Get your tide pods. Like, yeah, exactly. Oh god, it's the future, right? Yeah.
You can put Ghirardelli on your notes.
How long is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
He's
7,
actually
8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, damn. 1
Oh, let's take it full circle. You could go 2 laps across your fingers and go Hammmacher Schlemmer.
Yes.
That's a good. All right, I think that's a good.
I might get out of here.
Good episode. Good talking to you guys.
Yeah. Do we need to sign off things? We did at the start, whatever.
Yeah, we already did at the start. Yeah, again, Jeff and Brandon. We're both MTG Lexicon. That's me and Brandon in the middle with the green. Sam, if you want to plug yourself right before you go.
Sam from Commander Crunch and Pass the Jam Sam on the Twitters, and that's about it. But
absolutely. Beautiful. Thank you. Take care. Have a good night.
I love you guys so much. We'll catch you next week when Cheshire's back. So yeah.
Oh yeah. Take it easy, everyone.
Bye.